Ethnic Enrichment Commission was actually begun in 1976. It was originally put together for a bicentennial parade where a group of friends, that was a diverse group of friends, got together and said, hey, let's show Kansas City some of the diversity and the rich heritages that make up our community. The mayor at that time thought it was such a great thing. They were approached about making it a commission of the Kansas City, Missouri mayor's office. And so since then, we have been a commission out of the Kansas City, Missouri mayor's office. We are a 501c3 nonprofit charity, and everybody in the commission is actually a volunteer. We currently represent over 60 different countries. Most of them are country-based. And within some of those countries, there's multiple cultures. So we probably represent over 100, maybe close to 200 different cultures on the commission. And each of those commissions is tied with a community organization. For example, the Filipino Commission is sponsored by the Filipino Society of Kansas City. Both Wasim and I are working with the Kenyan Commission, and we are with Baraza African Culture Center. But there's a vast array of different cultures in there. We span the globe, and everybody within there is a cultural expert in their own area. So where there's a lot of resources for learning cultures, talking about languages, and just kind of the importance of working together with our diversity to make our community better.
Absolutely. Maybe you can talk a little bit individually, you know, what inspired you to become involved? What in your background compelled you to take, you know, this type of initiative?
Well, I'm originally from Africa, precisely Kenya. So I have lived longer here than I've lived in Africa. And one of my goals is the perception that people have of Africa is very skewed. It's, do you live on trees? You know, do you have a pet lion? You know, so it became a point to, it gave me a chance to educate and tell people what Africa, the continent, and a lot of times people think Africa is a country. You know, so it's an opportunity to teach. I speak 7 languages, so it's a good opportunity to talk to young people and tell them how diverse Africa is, and then how vibrant it is. We have so many different cultures, languages, food, religions. So I've been with the commission for a few years, and
maybe like 25.
Yeah, I didn't want to say 25 out loud, but I've been with them for a while, and we get a chance to work with the young kids. I like to inspire children because knowledge is power. And when you travel, I don't like to use the word if, I like to use when. When makes it that you are going to do it. So when you travel and you meet different people, you understand that if one does not speak English, doesn't necessarily mean that they are not educated. They can speak 5 other languages, while in America we are limited to 1, you know, or 2 at most. So through that, we do some diversity trainings. We go to different colleges, festivals. We showcase. We have like a culture box where we have things from my country. Then I'll show them out to the kids, and they tell them what it's made from, why it was made. So that's my passion about it. It's just trying to educate the young minds and make them travel. It is, Africa as a continent is amazing. It is so beautiful. I encourage everybody to go. And so Kenya has a country, we are only 55 years old, I think. We are the size of Texas. We have 50, maybe 8 million people. And so we are a very young nation compared to America. America has 200 years, 238 years old or young. So we are learning a lot as we are growing. The national language is Swahili. The official language is Swahili. No, so the official language is English. The national language is Swahili. So all our documents are in English. So that's a little bit about Kenya and why I do this work.
Why do I do this?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully my entry into this can show people that even if you're not from another country, you can be involved in Ethnic Enrichment Commission and the different organizations, or other things throughout the city. At a very young age, I realized I was something of a xenophile. I loved learning about things that were different than what I had experienced. And so growing up, I was always kind of seeking those things out, including opportunities to live overseas, to work overseas. I've lived and taught on 3 different continents, one of them being Africa and one of the countries being Kenya, which one of the things I learned about that was that I learned more about me and my culture than probably I learned about the culture I was in. Yes, I learned a lot about that culture, but I learned even more about me and the culture I grew up in. And it taught me a good way of appreciating what we have. Not that I didn't find great things I loved about all those cultures, and there's things I miss when I'm here about those places, but it's important to understand who you are within the world. And so that really helped me. My educational background is in anthropology, so I chose one of those fields where I learned about cultures and what it was about. But if before you go to college, maybe think about a few things. There's not a lot of jobs for anthropologists, but the skills I learned about looking at culture and dealing with people have helped me in everything I've done. I had a long career in education and higher education, but every place you go, including a work environment or a job, that each place has its own culture. And so even if it's, just within the dominant culture of where you live, every place is a bit unique. And so understanding those cultural norms and cultural differences and how to navigate those and bridge those things makes a huge difference in your success in those places. So it's very important to try to learn about the bigger world so you can understand your place in the world.
Absolutely. What are some good opportunities for students, high school students in that age range to become involved with the Ethnic Enrichment Commission?
And being an organization of volunteers, we live off of volunteers. If it weren't for volunteers, we wouldn't exist. Our 2 biggest events of the year, one is our diplomatic ball. It's normally held every spring. And of course I say normally because right now we're not in a normal time. And our next one is called the Celtic Fling, which is hosted by Scotland, England, Wales, and I should have looked before I got on the record, and Ireland, I think, but don't quote me. Sure. But each year it's hosted by a different group of countries. So it's an evening it's a formal evening where people come in their traditional clothing or black tie. The entertainment that night is based on the culture's hosting. The dinner is based on the culture's hosting. So it's a very nice evening to kind of immerse yourself a little bit in another part of the world.
Sure.
And a lot of our performers and people that come that night are volunteers, and it is a level of work to pull that off. Probably our biggest event of the year that I'm hoping a lot of the people in Metro, when I mention it, they'll say, oh yeah, I've been there. If not, they need to come, which is our Ethnic Enrichment Festival, which again is normally held every August in Swope Park. It's the 3rd full weekend in August every year. And this past year we did have it, but we had a virtual one, which turned out very nice and helped us still share with the community, but we really do miss the in-person, being able to share things. That weekend, we probably had over 50,000 people coming. There's free stage entertainment from the time we open to the time we close every day. There's booths all around where you can sample different kinds of food. There's crafts, clothing, other things that you can purchase. It's just a fun weekend to kind of experience the world. But what's exciting is it's done by people here in Kansas City. So even though the world is there, it's the world within Kansas City that is there. And you get to meet people from all these different organizations. That weekend, when we start working on that weekend, as soon as we kind of finish one festival, we are working toward getting the next one together. So there's work all week long. If anybody's been there, the booths we build, we spend time during the year repairing those, getting those ready. There's a lot of things for the entertainment, a lot of booths need help. So that's, things within the greater commission that we do. We also do outreach throughout the year. So we are going to schools, we are going to corporations, we are going to civic organizations, doing outreach, doing education. Those are some opportunities for volunteers to help also. But then, like I mentioned, there's over 60 organizations involved with us. Each of them have their own events and things that require help. Most of them are all volunteer organizations also. So what I would recommend to somebody is, look and see what commissions are involved in the Ethnic Enrichment Commission. And if there's something you find interesting, reach out. You can reach out to the commission. We'll connect you with people there. There's volunteer things. A few places have even internships available. So if there's something that interests somebody, let us know. If there's anyone out there that says, hey, my group is not represented on this list, let us know that. I think our newest commission that joined this during the pandemic was Liberia. So now we have Liberian Commission. So we want to represent everyone who's in Kansas City. So if you're not on there, let us know. We would love to have you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That's about the end of our time. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share?
What did you say? I'm sorry.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. No, I mean, the most interesting country, of course, is Kenya.
Right.
So yeah. So if anybody wants to come come visit Kenya, and we're very proud about it. I do have 3 pet lions. Just kidding. I have a baby elephant, by the way. No, but honestly, I think it's a great opportunity to meet people. It's a great if you are somebody that is shy, we do have mentors that will work you through this, and especially as a young person moving into a field that is unknown, this would be a great place to start with, because we have people from all walks of lives.
Yes.
From doctors to lawyers to like Andrea in anthropology.
Not high on the employment list.
Yes, but there's so much to do. There's so many different languages spoken within us. I mean, 60 countries. That's crazy. And then every time that we do an event, we get, it's a 3-day event. How many people do we get?
Over 50,000.
50,000 people come over. So that's a crazy amount of, and it's a lot of work. So, and everything that we do is volunteer. We all volunteer our times, so it takes a lot. And then we work very closely with the mayor's office. So we are affiliated with the mayor's office. So that gives them another opportunity to actually meet the mayor if they want to do through us.
Wow. And also, we work very closely with Kansas City, Missouri Parks and Rec. If it weren't for them, the festival and a lot of things would almost be impossible. So it's important to remember them. But what I would want people to remember, I mean, we talked about why it's important to kind of understand the world and your place in it.
Yes.
And I want to encourage people, if you get an opportunity to travel, do it. I mean, there's nothing that compares to experiencing another culture in that way. But even if you don't have those opportunities, you stay in the Kansas City area, you get a job here, you can get global experiences here in
Yeah,
Kansas
right,
City.
yeah.
And we've talked about some of them through the Ethnic Enrichment Commission. The International Relations Council has all sorts of things, including your global future. But there are ways right here to experience the world. Sometimes you have to seek them out, but I would highly encourage people to do that, because once you start on this path of discovering the great bigger world, even if you're here in Kansas City, the more beautiful the world gets, and even the more vibrant Kansas City gets. So I would very much encourage everyone, seek out those opportunities. They are here, but find them, please.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And we encourage everybody to explore the Ethnic Enrichment Commission, and hopefully you can become involved. So thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.